Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're gonna go ahead and pick some cards to see what you can be affirming to, get your manifestations. And I just want to give you more manifestation advice. It's never just about affirmations, but to kind of just get you into that manifestation mode, manifestation mindset. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and pick from this card deck that I have here. Okay, Visions of the Soul. I always get the best insights about manifestation through this deck. I feel like more than any other deck, even my affirmation deck, even though I will go ahead and pick from that as well. But yeah, let's see what's going on here. Okay, we got Intergalactic Communication. So this is a reminder for you to understand that there is always movement going on behind the scenes, and you have heard that. But I have some videos out explaining why that works under the Law of Assumption playlist, which this video is also going to be under. But in case some of you need a reminder or you're new to my channel, this is the first video that you're watching, or one of the first videos, I do want to let you know that you are the only conscious thinker in your reality. Whatever happens in your subconscious mind is what gets reflected out into the real world, right? Okay. But then there's also this concept of a magnetic field. There's a certain field that you're emanating. Okay, our brains actually do give off an electrical charge, and what happens in our brains? Thoughts, right? We think thoughts, and that electrical charge, by the way, is enough to light up a light bulb. Okay, think about that. That's how powerful our brains are, and I'm sure if we use more of our brain than we do, they could power up an entire city. Okay. Yeah, but anyways, I digress. But my point is, we do give off an electrical charge, and your person does hear that. Okay, there's this thing called the quantum field, right? And the quantum field is nothing but perception of, or what dictates your perception of you is the electric signature that you're emitting into the quantum field. Okay, and that is how people receive your affirmations. That's why when you affirm for certain people, if you're affirming for a specific person, other people, exes, past lovers, new people start reflecting back what you want your SP to do. And eventually your SP gets those affirmations as well. They have to. That is how the quantum field works. It cannot miss that, right? Even think of the concept of light and spirituality. We say love and light. Light hits everything. Even if it's not hitting it, it is. I gave this analogy of the sun, right? So when you go outside, even if it's cloudy, even if it's raining, and again, there's just clouds everywhere, scientists still tell you to wear SPF, still wear sunscreen, sunblock, whatever, right? Because the sun's rays are still hitting you, even through the window, even if the sun isn't directly facing you, there's this concept of light refraction, this, that, that is how manifestations work. That is how affirmations work. So when you affirm, you're emitting a certain signal into the quantum field, which is responsible for how people perceive you, and your SP perceives you in a specific way as well. Okay, according to what you're manifesting, and other people might start reflecting that before your SP finally comes in, but they will eventually come in and reflect that back to you. Okay, because there's no way that your affirmations won't reach them. You're like the sun. The sun's light is always reaching people, and it's there's never just a perpetually cloudy season, right? The sun comes out at some point, right? I guess it depends on where you live in, but for the most part, yeah, just for the purposes of this analogy, right? So my point is there is communication going on at all times. Okay, your thoughts are being sent to, which in the spiritual world is known as the Akashic records, which in I don't even know, the quantum world is known as the quantum field, right? So your person is always receiving your thoughts, your SP is always receiving your thoughts. So this is just a reminder that if you're going to have thoughts about them, make them positive. Stop arguing with them in your mind, because then they hear that. Once you stop arguing with them in your mind, they're going to start reflecting back to you the person that you want them to be. So if they said something or did something that triggered you, and you're replaying those conversations, and you're just oh my gosh, I can't believe they did this, that they did that, what's wrong with them, why can't they change? It's not about them. It's never been about them. It's you. You need to change your perception of them. Why? Because they are you. You're the only conscious thinker in your reality. Everyone is just playing a role that you assign them. I didn't really understand this at first, but then it really clicked when people started reflecting back things to me verbatim, to the line, to the word, to the syllable, to even the emojis that I expected them to when I was manifesting. And that is the thing, you have to start expecting it. Okay, you have to get so good and confident in your own manifestation abilities that it happens like magic. Okay, you know what, this person's gonna do this, I'm gonna send out the signal via self-concept. I personally feel self-concept works best, and it reaffirms your faith and power in yourself, your manifestation abilities, and they get those signals and they reflect that back to you. Your person is thinking about you right now. Okay, but if you really want to expedite and speed up this process, stop, assigning them a bad roles, saying negative things about them. Start thinking from the perspective of like, no, they're the best ever. Like, they love me and only me. They're loyal to me and only me. No, like, they're the best version of themselves. Okay, yeah, they might have done something, but I don't accept that. They're not going to do that anymore. They're not that person anymore. Or just revise it. Like, no, they never did it. It's up to you. But just be very, very careful of your thoughts, because communication is always, 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 happening, okay? There's always movement behind the scenes. There's always subconscious communication going on. Like, how there's this whole concept of, there's this whole concept of you being connected in other dimensions and other realities in the fourth, fifth dimension, right? That's nothing but your subconscious mind, okay? When you think about each other at the same time, like, I guess in the spiritual world, that would be like, oh yeah, you're communicating telepathically in the fourth dimension, right? So, I mean, like, it does happen. It is true. It does happen. And like, things finally materialize in the 3D. There's no point changing the 3D, because the 3D is, it is malleable, yes, but things are solid in the 3D. So what you have to do is you have to go to higher dimensions, fourth, fifth dimension, whatever, aka a higher level of thinking. See this from a higher perspective, okay? Aka your God self, your operant power self, if you feel more comfortable saying that, and change things from there. Change your thoughts, change you, change your perception. There's no point ever messing with the 3D, okay? Yeah, let's go ahead and pick some affirmation cards, or like, just cards from my law of assumption deck to see, what else is going on here. Yeah, we got observe, don't absorb. You are just observer / receiver. Don't internalize everything that you hear. Like, that's also the thing, like, observe anything you don't like. Just, you have to be neutral to it. If you want that thing to go away, stop reacting negatively to it, because then you're just perpetuating that state even more. At the end of the day, your subconscious mind only signals out like the things that you think about the most via your reticular activating system. So if you want something to leave your life for good, you have to literally just observe it, okay? Neutralize yourself to it, and start thinking from your desires, from your manifestations. How would you feel, be, act like if you already had it, right? And something that I want to say, actually, I saw this live. This is from, I think her name is Love Coach Kayla on TikTok. Yeah, I know her name is Kayla, and she gives amazing advice. Like, I feel like as far as law of assumption coaches go, there are a couple of coaches out there that really, really know their stuff down and understand manifestation to a very deep extent, that they've been able to make significant changes in their life and actually keep their manifestations. Okay, one of them is definitely Sammy Ingram. I will always hype her up. Another one is Love Coach Kayla, and I'm going to tell you something that she said that really stuck with me. And another one, I think her name is Courtney, Self-Concept Mentor. Yeah, I really like, those three. They're amazing. Honestly, TikTok coaches, some of them, like, really do know what they're talking about. And yeah, a lot of what I say, like, I'm always going to give credit where it's due. A lot of what I say is, stuff that they've talked about. But what Kayla said, she said that, the key to receiving your manifestations is being happy and living your best life. Because think about it. If you had your manifestation, ideally you'd want to be in a good, happy, healthy, committed, loving relationship with your person, right? Or whatever it is that you're trying to manifest. How would you be feeling? You'd be feeling happy, you'd be feeling good, right? But like, when you do that, when you do things that make you happy, even if it's just like, buying a small cup of coffee, or like, treating yourself, doing a, whatever, rose petal bath bomb, this, that, all of that, like, you're telling you're telling your brain, like, hey, I want to be happy, I want to feel good in the moment, and you perpetuate most of that. Like, I know this is obvious, but there's something about the way she said it that made it click. And this was her live, so I don't know if she ever posts her live, but it's a really good thing. Again, you never need to force happiness, but if you're doing something where you're genuinely happy and really in the present moment, you're going to be perpetuating more of that state into your life, and you're going to be signaling your brain that you already have your manifestations. Because if you had your manifestations, you're with your person, you wouldn't be thinking about, like, how to get them. You wouldn't be thinking about all, like, the negative things that they're doing that's triggering you, this, that, right? Like, you just be like, yeah, I'm with them right now and I'm so happy. I'm doing all these other things that are making me happy, which is going to perpetuate that state even more. So, whenever you can, again, just do things that make you happy, even if it is something small, even if it's like the smallest positive thought, that can incur big change. It's just a matter of, like, being on that streak, okay? That streak of thinking. Like, y'all remember, like, Snapchat streaks? Like, you would always send it, you'd keep it going. You gotta have that same streak with yourself and, with your mind, okay? So yeah, again, yeah, you're just observer slash receiver, except you don't even have to receive things if you don't want to. That's also where you hold a lot of power, and you have to be cognizant and aware and conscious of that power, and don't internalize everything that you hear, see, even think, because not everything is the truth. And if there's something that you don't want to be the truth, you don't have to accept it as the truth, but you have to understand, like, okay, I'm the one that's creating my reality, I'm taking responsibility for everything that's going on, I'm only accepting what I want to accept, and everything else is just, it's there, but I don't, I'm just going to neutralize myself to whatever is not my end goal, whatever I don't want to experience in my new reality, aka the new version of myself that's experiencing that reality. Because again, you're not really doing this to get something, you're doing this to become the version of yourself that has everything that you want, and you will receive your manifestations so fast. Okay, trust. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and end the reading right here. I do want to let you know we do have a self-concept challenge going on in my manifestation group on Patreon. I do offer in-depth tarot readings as well as manifestation coaching, and I also custom make Subliminal. So if you're interested in any of these services, check out the description box below where you will find my website. You can sign up for those services through my website. And yeah, I will end the video right here. Thank you so much. Love and light.